Hello everybody and welcome back to Well Eternal. My name is John and we are playing Moment of Creation here in the casual room because this deck is very casual. This hand does not have any fire, so we're going to redraw it. And this hand is great. It's got turn 2 Purify, it's got turn 3 Secret Pages. We can have the requirements that we need for all of our decks. And then, well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So we're going to play Seed of Impulse and torch this Oniron in here. Just get that out of there because this deck cannot handle a incredibly fast start, and I don't want my opponent getting any war cries off. They have nothing, which is good for us. We'll play Seat of Glory and say go. Drawing Obliterate was not ideal there. We do want to hit 5, but we have 4 in hand thanks to Secret Pages. Sword of Icaria. Well, that was not what I wanted to see, because I can't purify a Sword of Icaria, but I can torch one. So I'm just going to do that now. See how they go from there. Unfortunately, the Purify kind of change took it from 3 fast to 2 slow, so that's nice. Well, second Justice Sigil is great. Now I could just play a Parliament here, try to get out something like a Vanquish from their hand. I think that's fine. The other option is to play Secret Pages here to guarantee that we get to 5 for Harsh Rule, but if they play anything else, we can Purify to kind of stave off the bleeding a bit. And they just concede. Okay. This is the casual room, so I'm not terribly surprised. On to the next one. Here we are for our next game with Moment of Creation Green. And, well, this hand has Moment of Creation, but it doesn't have a lot of other action aside from that. So I'm just going to go ahead and redraw this one. This hand is not much better. It's actually worse than the last one. We do have Trail Stories, though. Make one of our cards cost less if we need to. But, alright, opponent is on some sort of Feln nonsense. We're just going to be playing Sigil Go until we draw something, worthwhile. See what they've got. Nothing. Well, Sigil Go. Drawing 2 spells in a row is not what we wanted. Maybe we want spells in our void for a Moment of Creation, but ooh. Well, that's not nothing. I'm just going to say go. I could Trail Stories into Assembly Line, but that seems very subpar. Alright, so there's Steward of the Past, a card that we don't really care for that much, considering that none of our things actually have justice requirements. Well, the good news now is that we can Secret Pages for a justice source so we can Harsh Rule next turn if we need it. And I think that's what we're going to do. I just need to make sure that we hit our power drops because we're already behind. And this deck cannot really survive a whole lot of time taking a beating without being able to hit our power. Then they play Bloodcaster. Perfect. So we'll play Secret Pages. Oh, are they playing something like a... Oh man, could they be playing Backlashes? We're going to grab the Justice Sigil because we have more fire sources in our deck than anything else. So I could play Great Parliament here, but I think actually the best thing for us to do is attempt a Trail Stories. They might have a Backlash, but I don't think that they're going to Backlash at Trail Stories. And then we'll Harsh Rule just to see if they have one. Oh, they have a Devour. Devour's fine. Yeah, and then we'll have no other responses. Now that we have a 4-cost Harsh Rule, if we find one of our Excavates, we can Excavate it back and then do some things there. All right, so Memory Dredger, but they have nothing in their bin that they can get back, right? Yeah, because Memory Dredger is unit that costs 2 or less. We're going to play Seat of Progress, and then we'll play Great Parliament for a 4/4 Owl, just kind of as a blocker here. Now, if we draw a fire source next turn, we can go Kindle into Moment of Creation, which could be pretty cool. It does depend on kind of how our opponents, how their plan is going to lay out. Well, there's a Dark Wisp. That's definitely a card that they'll want to get back with Memory Dredger. I'm not inclined to attack because, again, I don't want them... Like, we're at 16 already. They're still at 27. So I think we're just going to play an assembly line and say go. I mean, we could have, like, attacked with the Owl. They wouldn't have blocked. Then we would have 5, Kindle up to 7, and then get double assembly line. That doesn't seem good. Now, this is pretty good for us. We can vanquish this now. Sure, they get deeper in their deck, but I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, Slumbering Stone will be annoying, but... Alright, our second moment of creation is helpful, just not right now. So let's vanquish the Thorn Beast. And then I think that's all I want to do. I mean, I do want to get this assembly line in the void so that we can play moment, so we can get bigger moment of creations, but... Ooh, 4/4 flyer. Hey, Purify's good. They're going to start attacking with this, but we really need a second fire source. Bad. Something fierce. So I think we're just going to Purify the Slumbering Stone. And then we'll just say go. If we draw a fire source, we can then go Kindle into Moment of Creation. Make two 8/8s. Alright, they're going to draw some more cards. What else are you going to do, Efizo? Attack. Well, we're not going to block, because I don't really want them to start recurring things with Memory Dredger, so I want to make sure this stays back. Right. Auric Interrogator is definitely problematic, but bonuses, we drew Harsh Rule. So what we can do now is, let's see. If I attack with the Owl, they're not going to block because they have no reason to block. Then we can Kindle from 5 to 7, but then we can't play Harsh Rule and Assembly Line at the same turn. All right, so I'm going to attack with everything because they're all dying anyways. Yeah. As expected. And then we will Harsh Rule to sweep up the garbage, just to make sure that our opponent doesn't have anything that they can really do now. Let's see how they respond. We really need the second fire source. Oh, man. We need that second fire source, something fierce. We have more fire sources in the deck than anything else, so... Let's hope. Vara. Yeah. Vara's not good. Var is not good at all. Sure, bring back Stewie again. This deck really doesn't... This is just a slap in the face now deck. Like, alright, let's play Assembly Line. It'll save us a few turns, but I'm not sure what else we can do. Until we get a second fire source, we can't do anything, is the problem. Yeah. We're going to chump block Vara. We'll take the 3 from Steward. Not terribly concerned there. Let's see what else. Champion of Cunning. All right, well, that's... The Champion of Cunning is a bigger problem, especially as a 5/5 flying Aegis. They don't have the 5 Shadow to give all their units +2/+0. Oh, man. Our opponent is just straight going off. I mean, the only thing they can bring back, I think, is their Slumbering Stone. Oh, no, they're reanimating the Ravenous Thorn Beast off of Vara. Probably sacking the Shadowlands Guide. Bring back the Slumbering Stone. Trigger Vara again. Bring back Auric Interrogator. Sure. Well, that is... It would have been helpful last turn. I don't think there's a route to victory because... I was so focused on getting the second Justice that I didn't think about getting the second Fire for our Moment of Creations and an Obliterate. Although I have the distinct feeling that they have something awful in their hands. Like, I think they have some removal spells in their hand, so I don't even think Moments would have been very relevant here. Well, let's go ahead and we'll play Passage of Eons, and we'll say go, and we'll give them the satisfaction of killing us. Enough with your chicanery. Yep, there it is. Block the big things and take roughly $1 billion. Opponent gave us the well played, but in any case. Well, this is what happens when we get faction screwed. Let's see how the next game goes. And here we are with Moment of Creation green in the casual room. Our opening hand, we're going first, is... So I have kept these hands before because of the power of, well, quote, power of Seek, Power, Excavate, but I think we just want to redraw. 1 power hands are very rarely keepable. This hand's not the best. It has the problem of our last hand where we had, where we didn't have enough time sources, or fire sources, but in this case we don't have enough time. We do have Vanquish if they play something big and nasty. We can kindle a Obliterate on turn 4 if necessary, but we'll see. Our opponent decided to mulligan as well. We'll just lead on Seat of Impulse and say go. Oh, they got roped actually. That's interesting. Let's see how they decide to go forth. Ooh, no. Oh, opponent. I feel bad for my opponent. Getting roped? That's not the way you want to go. Alright, well, they have a Fire Sigil into nothing. Alright, well, drew Moment of Creation. We're just going to say go. We don't really have anything we can play yet. Little does our opponent know that there's nothing we can do yet. Ooh, no, that's because they're 3 factions as well. Oh boy. So this could be like Knucklebones with time. Ooh, Static Bolt. For 3, so they have another Static Bolt in hand. Cool, cool. Alright, well, we drew Find the Way. Find the Way helps $1 million, because now we get our second time source. And we'll just say go. So right now, Moment of Creation is for 1. I can make... Can I play... Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Alright, let's do some quick math. I can Trail Stories to make the Sentinel, to make Moment of Creation cost 5. And then I could just play Moment of Creation. Do I do that? Or do I wait and try to do a bigger one next turn? I think I wait and do a bigger one next turn. Because, I mean, making 2 3/3s is not ideal. Oh, what do they do? Oh, they did Wisdom of the Elders. Sure. Let's just take another Time Sigil for whatever reason we want. And we'll say go. Because we could kindle up to 4, but even though we couldn't cast the Moment then. What's their play then? Their Find the Ways. Okay, so we've had our Find the Ways. They now have their Find the Ways. Moment is making 2 2/2s, which is not ideal. We ideally want them to be bigger than that. Oh, more Find the Ways? All right, well, in that case, I think I'm inclined just to keep Finding the Way. That way we get more spells in the void. And say go. I do think I want to make this Moment of Creation cost less potentially. But I think I want to use both my Trail Stories before trying to slam this Moment of Creation. All right. So Fire Sigil. Okay. No one's doing anything. So, and I don't want to aim this at face is the problem. All right. So if we go Trail Stories, Kindle Moment, that makes 2 7/7s. Is 2 7/7s good is the question. Oh man, they don't have Primal, they don't have Shadow, and they don't have Justice, so they don't have stuff like Vanquish or Harsh Rule. 2 7/7s might be enough. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna Trail Stories, which our opponent should let happen. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't. I mean, they could have like a backlash or something, but I'm not terribly afraid of a backlash. Now, I'm going to make this Obliterate cost less because this costing 6 does not do a whole lot. Let's Kindle. Now, if they stop the Kindle, that's going to be telling. They're thinking about it. All right, let's try. Moment of Creation. Let's see what happens. Do they have a backlash or something? No. Excellent. All right, 2 7/7s. Not the biggest moments of creations I've ever had, but let's see if it's enough. We've got a 2-turn clock. Potentially less if we get to obliterate something or vanquish something. Alright, so they play a Primal Sigil, but depleted off of their Find the Way. And they played both of those, so that's relevant. I'm not sure what Fire Time Primal has that can answer 2 big 7/7s outside of something like Crystallize or Permafrost. I mean, 7/7s are pretty big, especially for 7. Ooh, Trailblazer. Okay, so I know exactly what they're doing. Now their plan is very, very apparent. So what their deck is trying to do is it's trying to loop Static Bolts using Second Sight and Elysian Trailblazer to give it Echo. So we're going to make our opponent quite sad. Obliterate the 3/3, attack with all, and represent lethal next turn, hopefully. Oh, well, they do something with Echo, so I wonder... Alright, it could be a Static Bolt? Could they have found enough Static Bolts to potentially kill one of my Awakened Sentinels? Because the other way this deck runs is you'd use that and use Nesting Avasaur to make the Static Bolts free. And you just keep looping them over and over again. Same with the Second Sights, but... Let's see. They're reading the card. Purify, deal 3 and silence it. Torch. And... They need one more. It's a 7/7. They need one more burn spell if they're going to 3-for-1 themselves. And neither of these were the echoed cards, so that's nice. Rock Slide, 1/1, sure thing. Now if we draw a burn spell, they're dead. Unless they have a Permafrost. Although I get the feeling they don't have a Permafrost. Alright, cool. So we'll attack. There's nothing for 1 that they could have. That makes me afraid. We'll find the way for a Fire Sigil. Whatever. Play the Fire Sigil. Play second Find the Way. Try to get all these power cards out of our deck. I think they have a Levitate in hand or another Torch or something. And then we'll just play Parliament for 2. Represent 2 more lethal threats that they must answer. This Harsh Rule and the Vanquish is kind of rotting in our hand, so I assume they have a Levitate or a Torch or something. That has to be they have a Torch. Okay, and then we'll say go. Unless they can deal 18 with their Static Bolts, I think we have it. And it's very possible that they could. Their first Static Bolt dealt 3. If they echoed another Static Bolt, that would be 4/5, and then that would be 2. They'd have to have another Static Bolt in hand. And if they drew a Static Bolt this turn, I think we were dead because they can deal 6. Opponent gives us a nice play, and they excavate back something. Static Bolt, yeah. Then they're gonna. Oh, they echoed the Second Sight. Oh my, yep. That is one way of doing that. I still don't think that we're dead. Static Bolt for 4. Yeah, Static Bolt for 4. Yep. They give us it's the pleasure, and that's the game for us. Now we actually had a win with Moment of Creation. Haha. All right, on to the next one. And here we are back again in the casual room with Moment of Creation. We're on the play against Fight. And this hand is, it's interesting. It needs like 1 more power to really cook off, but it's got double Purify. I think I'm going to keep this, and we can play it, There's nothing that they can play in the first few turns that we're going to be afraid of, so. Plus our 1 of Praxis Banner, just to give us a little bit more density of fire time sources. Opponent also shipping the hand back. Praxis Banner and a go. See what they decide to lead with. Hopefully it's something aggro that we can... Ooh, maybe? Minotaurs? Agenpool? Ours report nothings. Okay, so we drew Seat of Glory, which is perfect. So we're going to play Seat, say go. Now we can play this assembly line. And don't do what I thought I could do and kindle into Great Parliament on turn 3. That's not how that card works. Oh, no, they're Armory. Or they're Armory or some sort of mid-range deck. That's even... not even better, but it's easier for us to deal with. Because they're a slow game. They're a slow deck, too. They do have a ton of removal that we'll have to churn through, but... that's not too unreasonable. And let's see how they're going to respond. They're quite possibly very confused, which is fine. Play Seat of Chaos into what? Quarry. All right, so they're going to go digging a little bit. Looking for some action. Ooh, they pitched a Seek Power. All right. Makes me think that they're not short on power cards. Well, we will A space, because all we know is fighting. I mean, that's a lie. This deck is about 0 fighting at all. We'll just say go after playing another assembly line. If we can be proactive, we should be proactive, is my kind of big play maxim with this deck. I mean, obviously, we would prefer to be able to just start slamming just ridiculous things after ridiculous things, but you can't always do that all the time. Also, right now, our moments of creations are 2/2s, which is not what we want at all. See, how is my opponent going to play this turn? Yep. So they have a sigil in hand, but they played the banner instead. Probably so that they can play some... Ooh, Bailiff. That's not fair. I was going to attack you. I was going to... Alright, we're going to purify the guy and say go. Unfortunately, we don't play any rally effects. In my initial build of the deck, I did have some Xenon Obelisks. But I was like, that's a little too cheeky. And then they have Sword of Icaria, and they're going to attack, but we're going to torch it because I don't like them having a Sword of Icaria. And let's see how they follow up. Well, Obliterate's fun and all, but we ideally want to have power cards, which we are missing. Oh, great. Now a big Sword of Icaria. This is less than good for us. If we can draw a power card, please. Not quite what I had in mind. At this point, I am going to kindle into Great Parliament because we can make an owl. We can make one owl. Like maybe it would have been better to like next turn go kindle obliterate, but maybe. Okay, so they have a Slay. They're going to get another Warcry off, killing a Grenadin. This is all fine. It's not fine at all. Yep, being punished for the greedy play there. But I imagine that that owl is going to get slain anyway, so I'd rather them slay an owl as opposed to a real card, as it were. All right, Seed of Impulse is nice, but again, not exactly what we're looking for. I think next turn we're just going to obliterate the Sword of Icaria. Yep, keep going at it, opponent. Just keep hammering away. All right, so now they have the faction. You would have been nice to maybe. Well, I actually can't play Passage, so that's fine. We're just gonna obliterate face, and then say go. They do have the faction requirements necessary to play Icaria, which is terrifying. So hopefully we get to do something in the next few turns, because they have more cards in hand than we do. We can't really dig very efficiently because of the factions I chose, which is my own fault. I know. All right, so they have a big bailiff. Sure, big bailiff. Meet obliterate. And say go. I mean, ideally, I would have wanted to obliterate away a weapon, but... Alright, so they're going to quarry, which means they're missing their 7th power, which is helpful, especially if they're stuck with an Icaria in hand. Pitching a seat... Oh, they quarried into quarry. Sure. That's fine. Yeah, now our Grenadins are definitely not attacking any time ever. There's no other power cards. Alright, so they have a banner. Alright, well, that's nice. So let's seek into Justice Sigil, play Sigil, put the fear of God into our opponent. Also, for the record, our moments of creations are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're going to be 10 10s. That's going to be pretty good. That's not counting any of these other cards that we have in our hand, like Kindle, Passage, Harsh Rule. And survey says Orc Runehammer. Sure. Runehammer is A-okay. I mean, I don't like it, but it's better than nothing. I'm not afraid of Runehammer yet, so I'm just going to say go. End of the turn, we're going to secret pages. Yeah, that's fine. If they play anything out, we can passage to silence it, like if they play something like a, well, if they play a Tavrod there. But we're going to secret pages, get a Fire Sigil out, because Fire is my favorite faction. Draw another Kindle. Not what I wanted to see, though. I'm going to say go, because we can take 4 a little bit. I mean, they're not incentivized to play anything, because they can just keep hitting us with the Runehammer. But I would like to draw, like, better things. There it is. Big Bailiff. Purify's nice. Alright, so we can kindle to 9. What does kindling to 9 do? Not a whole lot. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to passage and say go. And then next turn we can purify the Bailiff, or if they play more things, we can rule them away, like if they play a Tavrod. Actually, if they play an Icaria here, that would be terrifying. But we could purify and harsh rule it away. Well, they thought about attacking with the Bailiff. I wonder why they chose not to. Alright, there it is. Attack with the Bailiff. And then follow up. Sword of the Sky King. Well, that's kind of what I was afraid of with using our passage there. I mean, I can kill the Bailiff, but we're just dead to stupid Sword of the Sky King. Maybe I need to be playing Decays or Ruins. But yeah, our opponent, alright, opponent, you're going to know the power of our hand. And we're going to let you kill us with the stupid Sword of the Sky King. Sometimes you're unlucky. Yep. And we're dead. That's kind of sad. Yeah, I think maybe we want to be playing more like targeted relic removal as opposed to just passage. Anyways, on to the next one. And here we are, back again with Moment of Creation Green. This hand is pretty alright. I mean, we need double justice for Harsh Rule, but we have ways of getting there. We've got Purify and Assembly Line, so I think this will be fine. Well, okay, so they did not play a turn 1 Oni Ronin, so I'm happy there. We'll lead on. Seat, say go. Alright, Dark Wisp. Perfect. Alright, Seat into Purify. Because Silence is really good against this deck, if this is what I think it is. They found nothing. Cool. We found Find the Way. So we're going to Find the Way. They probably have a torch or something. We're going to grab a time sigil and play the time sigil, and we'll say go. I can imagine they have a torch or some other effect for some fast spell. They could have a rapid shot. There's no targets on it, but... Recalculator, sure. Let's play Find the Way, getting a Justice Sigil, and we'll play the Justice Sigil, and we'll just say go. We can take some beats from the Recalculator. Ideally, we would find another Purify to silence it, but, you know. You do what you can. Ooh, Warband Chieftain. Oh, hey, speak of the devil. Moment of creation. Sure. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to vanquish into assembly line. So we're going to vanquish that guy. Then they're going to give that guy +5 power. And then we're going to assembly line. And we'll say go from here. So right now our moment of creation is going to make 2 4/4s. Or no, 2 5/5s. Even better. Although I'm pretty sure we're going to be using this harsh rule and this obliterate before then. So making 2 7/7s seems pretty likely. So they suck power. Sought power. Alright, Seat of Progress. And they chose not to attack. Which is it's a bold move, Cotton. I think I'm just going to... Oh, man. I think I want to save this obliterate for when they play something bigger. So let's just play Parliament and say go. I know Parliament's only for 1. But again, we just want stuff. We just want spells in our void so that we can Moment of Creation. And do they have something like an Annihilate or something? I'm unsure what they have in their hand. Piercing Grief. I don't want to lose a Grenadin, so I'll block with the Owl. If they have a Rapid Shot or whatever, that's fine. Okay, so they did have a Torch. Sure. I care minimally about this. And then, what's their last card in hand? They don't want to show us. I don't understand why you don't want to show us what you've got in your hand, friend. So I think I'm fine obliterating this now. Because I get the feeling they don't really have many big things. Oh, they have another fast spell? Oh, it's probably Devour. It's Devour, isn't it? Burnout. Whew. Cool, so they take 6 because of Overwhelm. We'll just say go from there. Burnout, not very relevant against the Moment of Creation deck. Ravenous Thorn Beast, sure. Devour one of your kin. Ooh, assembly line. I like that. We will attack with all because we're going to be harsh ruling here because I don't want to see a 5/5 in play. I didn't even block. Harsh rule into assembly line, and then we'll make 2 9/9s. Yeah, we'll make 2 9/9s with Moment of Creation. Hey, Dark Return, what are you getting back? The Big Thorn Beast as a 6/6. If only our opponent knew. If only our opponent knew that we're making 9/9s while they're making 6/6s. Obsidian Golem. Yeah, it's a good card. It's a very good one, you know, makes things become 2/2s. Except for the fact they like our style. Excellent. I like their style as well. However, we're going to silence your Golem and attack with 2 9/9s. Maybe we should attack with all, but whatever. It's about sending a message. Yeah, they didn't have an out here, so yeah, Moment of Creation, got there, bam, and they'll be our Huckleberry. How nice. All right, let's do one more with Moment of Creation green. Here we are for the last game with Moment of Creation green. We're on the play, and this hand is, I mean, honestly, it's not terrible. I mean, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to keep it. This is the casual room. These games don't mean anything. Plus, we have double Find the Way, double Seek Power. Yeah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be just fine. I hope. If this works, then I'm a genius. Just kidding. Probably not a genius. Our opponent goes seal into seek power. We're going to seek for a Justice Sigil. Play the Justice Sigil. Then we're going to seek for a Fire Sigil and then say go. Next turn, our plan is find the way for a Justice Sigil. Play the Justice Sigil depleted. Unless they play something scary that I need to torch or purify. Ooh, they played a banner. Interesting. So yeah, find the way for Justice Sigil. Then play the Sigil depleted. Say go. Next, find the way is going to go grab a Time Sigil. We'll play it depleted. Hold up torch. Oh no. Oh, I see what you're on, opponent. All right. So find the way. Time Sigil. Time Sigil depleted. Torch that. No. You don't get to have strangers. This is probably one of our worst possible matchups. Especially if they can find the Aegis Stranger. Oh no, this could be really bad. Not real bad. Soaring Stranger. Sure. We'll play a Sigil. Then we'll purify the Soaring Stranger and say go. Into their turn, we'll secret pages. For whatever Sigil we want. Our influence requirements are met. They have Forsworn Stranger into Ruthless Stranger. So yeah, we'll secret pages, grab a Fire Sigil, whatever. Draw Find the Way. I think I want them to overcommit more into a Harsh Rule. So I'm going to Find the Way into a Time Sigil, play the Sigil depleted, play Find the Way into a Fire Sigil, and say go. I think I can get them into a bigger Harsh Rule. We're going to take 1 billion. But, yeah, see? They get Triumphant Stranger in play. Even better. All right. So they have 3 cards in hand. We have 4 cards in hand, one of which is a power, but all of our cards are action. They did miss a few power drops, so their hand's probably just all strangers. So Battle-Tested Stranger into nothing. Okay, so Justice Sigil into Obliterate the Battle-Tested Stranger, and then play 2 Owls off Great Parliament. Also, real quick, moment count. It's at is it the full 12? Yep, full 12. So we'd be making 2 12/12s. Oh, so they had a Vanquish in hand. Cool. That's fine. So they had a Vanquish and a Determined Stranger and a Hardy Stranger. All right. Things I care the least about. So we'll Obliterate the Determined Stranger, attack for 4, play Assembly Line. Say go. Hold on to this Kindle until we need it for a moment. They found a banner. Pretty good for us. We're just going to be playing power cards that we draw and attacking with our owl for the foreseeable future, unless we find a Moment of Creation. Or they find a Vanquish. Sure. Or we find another Great Parliament. We can play everything in our deck now, so it's just, can we find more action before they can? They've been drawing nothing but power. We will attack for 8, and then... So they're dead next turn, so I'm not too afraid now, unless they find Soaring Stranger. No, they found another Vanquish, but I think they're dead now, because we attack with everything, and they take 4 in the air, and they have to take 1 on the ground. We'll secret pages, just in case, and then draw Praxis Banner, A, space. And that's how you beat strangers. You have Timely Wrath effects. And that has been Moment of Creation Green. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. Yeah, and if you have any comments, leave them in the video, the Reddit thread, the comments of the article, whatever it is. And I'll talk to you all next time. Whew, boy.